Hey, 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 happy Tuesday, everybody. It is October 10th, 2023. Guys, today we are diving into the Delphi case and it's kind of a deep dive scenario. I have you all here joining me for that today, as well as a couple other people. I am looking forward to it, guys. It's getting interesting over there, that's for sure. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this with me today. I appreciate you guys so very much. Let's get this show on the road. I can't wait. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Good to see you all. Thank you for being here today. I hope you're having a great day so far. On this Tuesday, guys, it is again October 10th. This month's moving right along. Thank you guys that were here with me last night for joining me. It's great to see you guys again today. I appreciate you so very much. Excuse me. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat, grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be. You know what I'm going to say. Come on in, have a conversation with me if you will. I do appreciate you guys so very much. Like I said, we are doing a little bit of a deep dive into some of the Delphi stuff, going back to it, looking at some documents, talking about some stuff. Things have changed over there, guys, and therefore, in turn, we got to talk about that. So that's what we're doing. Again, thank you guys for joining me last night. It was a great stream yesterday as well. I appreciate you guys so much for that. I had a lot of fun last night, guys. So thank you, thank you. You are appreciated. So let's see. Who's joining us today? Looks like Jaylit. Welcome back is in the house. Good to see you, Miss Zelda. Welcome back. You as well. Miss Kells. Hey, great to see you. SRB, great to see you. I appreciate you more. Miss Ashley Nicolette, thank you for joining us today. Great to see you. Miss Sherry Wisdom Speaks in the house. Good to have you here. Let me see. T2014, welcome back. Great to see you. Yaya Kelly, hey, it's good to see you. It's a new name. Love seeing the new names and faces, guys. Always do. Moonlit Baby's in the house. Welcome back. Great to see you, Moonlit. My friend Dinky, what's up, brother? Good to see you, bro. Good to have you here. The Canadian Cat Lady, always a pleasure. Great to have you here, my dear. Always love spending time with you. Of course, Firefly's in the house. Good to see you. While she's working, she's listening. That's awesome. I love it. CR's in the house. Thank you, CR, for joining us. Great to see you again. Let me see. Let me see. Sarah D. Irish, welcome back. Great to have you here. Miss Deborah Thompson in the house. What's going on, Deborah? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Kat, what's going on? Good to see you. Dad Gigi Life's back. Good to have you, Gigi. Good to see you again, as always. Let's see here. My brother on the mic. What is going on, dude? Good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. We've missed you here, that's for sure. Good to have you here, bro. Good to have you here. The Karma Police in the house. That is a good thing. Good to see you, Karma. Good to have you here. Everybody behave. You know what happens. Excuse me. Where are we at? Rowena Moses, welcome back. Great to have you here. Great to see you. Noni McPoppins, great to have you. Awesome to see you. Thank you so much for joining us again today. Ray Baldic's in the house, and it is a birthday. Hey, hey. Happy birthday to you, Ray. You know what that means. You know how we do this. Cowboy, what's going on? Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining us today. Carolyn Miller, always a pleasure. Good to have you back. Excuse me. Katie Quarters, great to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Murky Piglet, welcome back. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Guys, on your way in the door, please, 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 please leave some DNA on that like button. Share this out. Let's get this out there if we can. We got 29 likes. We got 69 people. Let's make it match, folks. You know it. You know it. Nat Cat, welcome back. Great to see you. South Africa's in the house, guys. We love that. All the meatballs jumping in the sauce today as we spill some of that sauce. Foxy Lady coming from Australia, down under. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining us today, dear. I think we're almost there. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Boom. The 360 Life. Good to see you. Great to have you here. Mrs. Krampus, welcome back. Great to see you. Let me see here. Nothing half-assed. Always happy to see you. Thank you for joining us again today. What's happening, Eddie? Good to see you, my friend. One maiden nut. Good to have you here, brother. Always a pleasure. Striker Force for you. Good to see you back. Excuse me, guys. All right, all right, all right. I think that's it for everybody. Come on in, guys. I just wanted to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night for wherever you are. I hope it's good for you because it's good for me to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, Peaches81, good to see you. The lovely Miss Brandy, good to have you here. KT, what it do, what it do. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Let me see something here real quick, folks, while we're waiting on everybody to come on in. Grab a seat, guys. Get yourselves comfortable. We got plenty of room for all you awesome, beautiful people. And I thank you all once again for being here with us today. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're just going to try to make it just a little bit better because it always gets better when I hang with you guys. Sorry for my washed out look. I got to get some blinders in here to make this stuff look better. And I will. I will. No worries. Well, there's no new docs in the Idaho case for somebody. If anybody was wondering, nothing yet. We may have some new docs for the other stuff, but we'll see. One moment here. We're going to be going over the PCA for Richard Allen, some things like that. Oh, yeah, guys, we got lots to talk about today. All right, all right. Let me see what else. Check some stuff here. We're getting there. All right. Miss Jessie Lynn's in the house. Good to see you, Jessie. Thank you for joining us. Silence no more. How are you? Another new face. Thank you for joining us today. We got 76 peeps, guys. We're almost there. Come on down. We got 35 likes. Let's do this, guys. We got to get this out into that algorithm and get everybody in here. That's how it works. Melinda Odo, thank you for joining us. Good to see you today. For sure. I think I pulled everybody up that's in here. 82 people now with 43 likes. Keep hitting that like button, guys. Come on, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Even if you're just lurking, hit that like button. You don't have to be in here. 45. We're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. 2 new members. Hey, hey. Welcome to the sauce, guys. It's great to have you guys here. Great to have all of the new people, the new members, the new meatballs. Love it, love it, love it. It's chilly here too. We're gonna be having soup here later. Something I've been wanting for a while. Rock Chalk in the house. What's going on? All things sober. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Oh yeah, I got you, Murky. Understand, Miss Carolyn Miller. Great to see you, dear. Thank you for joining us today. Groot, what's going on with you? Thank you, Peaches. I appreciate that very much. Yes, we're doing a bean and ham and bean soup with cornbread, I think, for dinner tonight. So I'm excited. hmm Love me some ham and bean soup, especially when it's cold outside. It's just comfort food to me. You know what I mean? We got a new member of our family, by the way. You see a little white guy running around here behind me? His name is Milo. He's a cutie. Everybody knows we lost Oscar in May, and we had the kittens, and those are gone. And now my daughter in law's mother had a puppy. He's almost a year old, I think, that she just didn't have the room for him, and she needed somewhere for him to be that he was going to be taken care of and loved. He's a cutie. He's a little bit bigger than Oscar. So he's a new dog. We have a new puppy. Cute little guy. Lynn 69, great to see you. Daisy Dead, are you in here yet? Ham hock and beans. Oh my god, CR. I know, I love it. I love it. Yeah, he's a cutie. He's a little bit bigger than a puppy. Like I say, he's almost a year old, but he's still a puppy. Milo. You might see him come running through here, maybe. Milo, here it comes. Sam, come here. Come here, guy. Come here, buddy. Here he is. Say hi. Say hi. Over here. Look. Say hi, everybody. Over here. Look at camera. Look. What is that? What is that? You gonna rough? You gonna say hi? Hmm? Yeah? Say hi. Oh, you got stinky doggy breath, huh? What's that? What's that? You go on. Go ahead. So that's our new little one. He's a cutie. Very loving. Milo and the meatballs. That's right. We're doing a transition thing, Daisy. He was here yesterday in the morning for a couple hours um with her, the lady that owns him now. And today we're keeping him through while she goes to work for the day. Then he's gonna go home. And then I think by Saturday we're gonna have him fully transitioned to here. That way he's not so freaked out. You know what I mean? Thank you, Jill or Jaylit. It's my wife definitely needs that spot filled. You know what I mean? We're not gonna be able to replace Oscar, but she's been really sad. So this is helping. She loves him. So thank you, Ray. Golf Inspector, great to see you, Mrs. Debbie. Crime Sleuthing, thank you for joining us today. It's great to see you, Jesse Lynn. Yeah, he's very cute, Daisy. He's very sweet too. He's a lover for sure. Let's see. Let's get this up and rolling here. Uno momento. Memento, I'm sorry. What am I doing here? Yesterday, guys, I'm not throwing any names out, okay? And I'm not lecturing anybody. I'm nobody's parent in here. But I'm asking you out of respect for me and everybody else, guys. Not everybody likes everybody. I get that, okay? It's fine. We don't have to. I'm not telling you you have to. But in here, I don't want to have to time people out, remove people, because I care about all you guys. I do. I love you guys to death. But when there's other people in here, whether you agree, disagree, if they're not being rude to you or they're not bothering you, I'm asking you guys to please, please be respectful of them while they're in here. Okay? That's all I'm asking. Nothing more. Respect yourselves, respect each other, and respect my space by not saying, name calling, things like that to other people. That's all I'm asking, guys. Please. Just we're adults. We can do that. No big deal. So that's all I'm asking. One second. Okay. Cammy Q, what's going on? That's it. When in doubt, say nothing. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. That's all. And if you don't care for somebody in here, you can very easily just block them so that they don't see you and you don't see them. That's all. No big deal. Michael Wimmer, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Again, Cammy Q, thank you for joining me today. All the mods, thank you for being here. I appreciate everything you do. War Eagle in the house, thank you for joining us. Roll Tide Roll. Golf Inspector, I did see you. I'm sorry. I swear to God, I saw somebody that I just missed. And that's one thing I will say. I want you guys to know I love you guys to death, each and every one of you guys. I will not put up with name calling. Okay, we're better than that, guys. Jose, what's going on, sis? Good to see you. We're all better than that. We can't do that kind of stuff. Let's not. Carrie Persula, thank you for joining us. Robert Bell, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Prayers to the Navy USS Gerald Ford ship aircraft carrier. 5,000 sailors aboard on their way to the eastern Mediterranean. Yes, absolutely. We got to think about and pray for our soldiers doing what they're doing, as well as what's going on in Israel, guys. Prayers, please keep it in the back of your mind. Keep it in your thoughts. Daisy Dad, good to see you again. Absolutely. We don't, that's a fact, Dinky. Nobody needs to come in creating problems. I don't think we'll have any problems with that. Okay. But if we do have that, you moderators know what you guys got to do. DS, good to see you. Evie Marie, thank you for being here. We got 110 awesome peeps in here right now. 55 likes. We're almost there. We're almost there. Come on, guys. Let's get it up there. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in here that will be causing any problems, guys. And I don't think anybody will come in and cause problems. But if we do, my mods know what they got to do. Miss Cassie, thank you for joining us today. Sherry K, hey, good to see you. I hate trying to say your name. I feel so bad because I know I'm slaughtering it. All right, let's see it again. Let's try it again, guys. Midikuye Oyasin. Again, Midikuye Oyasin. I think that's right. I'm going to call you Mida. Mida, if that's okay with you, I'm just going to call you Mida. That way I don't slaughter your name. Let's see else. Oh, thank you, Cat Lady. I appreciate that so very much. Yep. He loves it. We got so much room for him out here to run too. And she was in such a small place. He couldn't do it. He's a little bit of a hyper guy. There she is. The awesome Miss Salty's in the house. Good to see you. Thank you, Mida. I don't know. I feel bad when I slaughter people's names. I feel it's disrespectful. You know what I mean? So I just don't want to do that. I'll just call you Mita or Mida. Either way. Welcome, Miss Josie. Lisa Baleo, good to see you. I probably messed up your last name too, but I think it's pronounced. I used to date somebody whose last name was Vallejo, and it was spelled the same way. So, and the name was exactly the same. That was the weird thing, Lisa Vallejo. That's why when I first saw your name, I was a little bit like, "Whoa." I know it's obviously you're not right, or you're not her, but. Dago, can I call Josie names? Yeah, you guys can call Josie names. Well, a couple. As long as Josie says you can call her names, you can call her names. I know you guys are friends. That's why it's okay. But be nice. Don't be calling too many names. I love Josie. She's super helpful. And I love her personality. So don't be too mean to her. I would be careful though, because I'm sure she'll call you names back. Thank you, Jesse. You guys make my day. Ms. Bonnie Messick, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Reciprocate. Thank you, dear. Absolutely. I said that to her the other day because she reminds me, she's just like my wife. That's why I thought she was so awesome immediately. Same personality and all. It's awesome. And she's a hard worker, just like my wife. Gotta respect it. David James, my brother from down under. What's going on? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today, bro. Hope you're having a great day. Being safe over there. It is it should be about 2:42 in the morning over there, roughly. So if you're working, be safe out on them roads, my brother. It's great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Excuse me. Driving and listening. Awesome, Salty. Couldn't do this stuff without you guys. Salty, I appreciate everything you've been doing. Everything you do, period. So thank you. Josie, you are a name. Ray. Speaking of which, guys, it is Ray's birthday. Please let her know that we care and tell her happy birthday. I hope she has a great day today. So once again, Ray, this is for you. As always, guys, I gotta do it. Gotta do it.
you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Make a wish, Ray.
Happy birthday to you.
And there you go. I Sorry about that. I hope you have the absolute best day you possibly can today, Ray. That is all you deserve and nothing less. Super appreciative you're spending it with us today. We love you to death. Again, have the best day possible and happy birthday. We love you. Thank you guys. Spread them that love a little bit and tell her happy birthday if you will. Excuse me. Miss Katie's in the house. Well, it's funny, Debbie, because I didn't cover Delphi. I knew it was going on, but I didn't like cover it because I was too busy with the other stuff we were doing. So I'm learning a lot of stuff myself. I went back over the weekend and picked up on some stuff, and I had been looking at it. I remember some of the basics from it, and the things that caught my attention back then, they still catch my attention now, but there's more, very much more to look at as well. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot on this. Salty's really been helping me out with this, doing her stuff because I think it bothers her as much as it bothers the rest of us. So when do y'all stop celebrating? I give it every year is a good year because it gives us another year with every one of you guys. So it's important. Yeah, I don't really celebrate that much either, Josie. I know what you're saying. I'm about to be 49, so you know how that goes. One more year. There really is, Jesse. There's so much wrong in the Delphi case. Too much. Come on in, guys. Get comfortable. 59 likes still with 106 people. Come on. Help me out here, guys. Let's get this in the algorithm so we can get some peeps in here. Seriously, we got to get this case is crazy. It needs to be looked at by everybody. I wholeheartedly believe that. Well, you'll celebrate it when it's in when I find out about it. And if you don't tell me, I'll make sure that Cassie tells me, SRB. It's gone to the point where it's just another day. I agree. Now my sister has a birthday month. She celebrates her birthday for the whole month in July. Yes, prayers for Israel, please. We'll catch everybody up on it. No big deal. Yes, yes. Leave that DNA on that like button on their way in the door, guys. Even if it's just touch DNA, it doesn't matter. Just enough. Just enough to get us that like button hit, and we'll be good. Absolutely. Thank you, Salty, for that. And I think. Thank you so much, SRB, for that. Again, guys, this channel is 100% crowd-funded. That's how I come to you guys every single solitary day. Those links there for Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Anybody that should choose, because it's not mandatory, should you choose to donate to support the channel, that helps pay those bills for the internet, the StreamYard, the YouTube Premium, and all the other stuff that I need to keep doing this, guys. And it is so very much appreciated. Like I said, it's not mandatory, but it is appreciated. So thank you all so very much for anybody that has touched on that. Then we'll do it as well. We love you and we appreciate you so very much. Carrie, welcome. Good to see you, Carrie Perstola. Come on in. Come on in. We're about to get started soon here in a second, guys. What is that there? Well, the FBI is asking New Yorkers to remain vigilant. If you see something, say something. Please, everyone, stay safe. I'm turning off the news now. Christina Gamel, good to see you. Oh, there's stuff going on in New York, yeah. Don't they have StreamYard gifting now? I don't think so. I haven't seen that. That's interesting. That's a new one. Miss Shelley, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. 112 people, 80 likes. We're getting up there. It's starting to happen. Come on now. Come on now. All right. We're hoping more people jump on in here. and we get them likes up, guys. I'm gonna pull this out. Hold on. All right, give me a minute here to set this up for you guys. Once again, guys, I know I said it already, but a few more people jumped in. I just want to ask everybody, out of respect for me and each other, please be respectful in here. No name calling, no nothing like that. If you see somebody you don't care for or somebody you don't like, just block them. Whatever you got to do, ignore them, and vice versa. We don't need any of that. We're all adults, and I will not put up with any kind of name calling. I love each and every one of you guys the same, and I don't want to have to do any of that kind of stuff. That's all. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it so very much. All right, let's back that out and move this up. Do. All right. I think we're gonna start off here with this. Wait a minute. The first thing we're gonna jump into. Everybody in here knows. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna do it that way. 1 second, folks. Let me do this. I'm gonna start with this, and then we're gonna jump into some documentation here, just to kind of reiterate what's going on here. Okay. 1 second here to give you guys. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm gonna go with this. No. I got too many downloads here. Hold on a minute. Now, as we all looked at last week when we talked about it, okay. Where's it at? Come on now. All right, we're gonna start here just to give everybody a refresher real quick, and then we're gonna jump into the stuff that I want to do today with this. Again, to kind of wake everybody back up to this one a little bit. Oh, I know. It's always good to go back to the beginning on these cases sometimes and look at things and refresh our minds and stuff like that. So we're not going. We did last week. We went back. earlier and looked at it from there. We're going to go with this from here, and then we're going to step up into the documents and stuff and reread that stuff and refresh with that too. It's kind of important to me that we do that so that, for one, it brings me back and it'll pick you guys back up too. So, all right.
Teenagers Abby Williams and Libby German were best friends living in the small rural community of Delphi, Indiana, a town with just 3,000 residents. On February 13th, 2017, the girls had a day off from school and the weather was very mild for winter. So they decided to go on an outdoor adventure. They were dropped off near the Monon High Bridge, a beautiful wooded area with a river and an old-fashioned planked bridge. While on that bridge, Libby recorded a man with her phone. That same man was also recorded by Libby uttering the words, "down the hill." It was down the hill where Libby and Abby would be murdered. Prosecutors say the man on the bridge is responsible, and that man is Richard Allen. But Allen and his attorneys say prosecutors have it all wrong. They say Allen is innocent, and investigators did not follow the evidence that leads to somewhere else. A group of white nationalists who practice the ancient Nordic religion of Odinism. They also allege that 3 of the investigators on the case also believed this was a ritualistic killing, evidence that was concealed, suppressed, and not revealed to the judge. Tonight, we take a closer look at what those 3 investigators are saying and look at the evidence the defense says was hidden as we continue to investigate the Delphi murders. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. Our investigation continues tonight into the Delphi murders. So much information was released this week, and each night we're going through more and more of it. Tonight is going to be, I think, eye-opening and fascinating in looking at what the defense is alleging here. But let's start. I mean, Abby and Libby, these 2 young girls, best friends. Best friends. So, understand that relationship, right? And go back in your minds when you're growing up and you've got your friends and you do things together. And I remember growing up taking hikes all the time, whether it was 2 of us or 8 of us. You know, we would just head out into the woods, you know, looking for that waterfall or wherever we were going to go. And we'd be gone for hours and hours. Our parents didn't worry. And then we came home, right? And that's what was happening that day and should have happened that day. But we know it was much worse. It was evil. I mean, this was also a bizarre crime scene where these 2 young girls were murdered. What you're looking at is a graphic depiction that we put together based upon the descriptions in these papers that have been filed by the defense. And when you look at the covered in sticks and the way the bodies appear to perhaps be positioned, at least that's the allegation by the defense, that it was some sort of ritualistic thing that was going on here. It's not normal. Whatever it was, it just didn't seem normal.
Hey, Brandy.
Not that any murder is normal, right? But there are murders where, okay, you find a body and the body, you know, the person is killed, the person is murdered, and they leave the body there. Here, it appears something else was done in this case. And if what the defense has filed with the court is exactly what the evidence shows, then you're talking about really bizarre, where they're taking the clothes from one of these girls and putting it on the other girl, and the other girl's naked, and all of it is bizarre and evil at the same time. Richard Allen, the accused in this case, is saying, not me, it's not me. This isn't a case of saying, well, you know, this happened and things got out of control. No, it's not me. I didn't do it. Couldn't be any clearer in what they're saying here. He did not do it. And it's not even a case where they're saying, well, there's not enough evidence to prove that he did it. They're actually saying he didn't do it and there is someone else responsible for all of this. Not just saying I didn't do it. No. I couldn't have done it because they did it. Talking about this group of alleged white nationalists who follow Odinism, this ancient Nordic religion. And that everything left at the crime scene was some sort of a sign. And even to this day, as he sits behind bars, the guards at the prison where he is also follow this religion. And if this is true, this is beyond anything I've ever seen or heard. Beyond. But that's what they're alleging here. They're also alleging that the investigators, the prosecution has concealed some of this evidence when, getting a search warrant, not revealing everything, changing little facts here and there, holding on to things that would be exculpatory in nature and not releasing it until they have to release it to the defense. Now that I've seen a lot in many cases, allegations of that in many cases. At the end of the day, this is going to be a trial in front of a jury, and whether or not the evidence was given over in time or not in time, everyone will have an opportunity to put all of this in front of a jury, which is what I want to do here tonight, is put in front of you the things that we are finding out that are being alleged in these papers. And we're going to begin with something that could be by itself reasonable doubt in this case. We're talking about 3 investigators who were working this case, who were going in a completely different direction and believe that it was this ritualistic killing. It was not Richard Allen. 3 investigators. Take a look. This is from the defense memorandum. Retired Rushville Assistant Police Chief Todd Click, Detective Kevin Murphy, and Detective Greg Ferenczi were 3 of the law enforcement officers who worked on the Delphi murder case, particularly focused on the Odinite angle as it intersected with suspects in Rushville, Indiana. After reading Richard Allen's probable cause affidavit, Click, remember, Assistant Police Chief Todd Click, became concerned that the information contained in Richard Allen's affidavit pointing the finger at Richard Allen was far less compelling than the totality of the information that Detective Ferenczi, Detective Murphy, and Officer Click had accumulated during the Rushville portion of the investigation. The information that Murphy, Ferenczi, and Click had gathered during their investigation connected men who practiced Odinism in or near Delphi with another group of men who lived in Rushville, and then connected both groups of men to the murders. This is pointing the finger at specific people, okay? Through the investigation of law enforcement, not the defense doing their own investigation. This is through the investigation of law enforcement. Click was concerned that for some reason the leadership of the investigative team had failed to share with Prosecutor McClelland the evidence gathered by Click, Ferenczi, and Murphy. Click's concerns led him to seek out a lawyer to assist him in the drafting of a letter. This letter was then sent to McClelland. This is big stuff, okay? So let's bring in the heavy hitters joining us tonight in Indianapolis, Indiana. We go to them all the time on this story, have been doing it for years now. The hosts of the Murder Sheet podcast. Make sure you download the latest episode. Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee are with us. Great to see you both tonight. First, briefly though, because I want to get into the content here. Just your reaction to all these things that came out in these 130 some odd pages of what the defense filed.
It's absolutely fascinating to see the defense lay out its case for the murders. And it's so disturbing to hear more about the homicides themselves and the crime scene. It's just heartbreaking to think about what those girls went through.
And these details that we're getting are really for the first time, right? I mean, you've been trying for years, but it is what it is. Things have been sealed. Things have not been revealed. So if we take them at their word in what they put in their memorandum, this is earth-shattering stuff. So let's start first with this Odinite angle and the fact that there are apparently these 3 investigators who thought they were putting things together.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is very interesting to see some factions is sort of forming within law enforcement here. You have people, obviously the official investigation is saying they believe Richard Allen does it, but these 3 investigators may have been sort of offshoots. And I think one thing that we're really curious to know is the allegation that law enforcement sort of wrongfully rejected this theory, is there any weight to that? Is that something where maybe they should have looked into it more? Or is this a situation where you had people become emotionally invested in their own theory and sort of didn't let it go, even if they weren't able to get to probable cause? So it kind of leads to a couple of different possibilities. It's sort of fascinating, but it kind of gives you a sense of there were a lot of directions that we probably haven't even heard about yet as far as the investigation.
So the concept of Odinism and this Odinite angle that the defense is talking about, before these papers were filed, did you hear rumors of that? Was there any indication that this could have been a ritualistic sacrifice?
Yes, there were all sorts of rumors behind the scenes and whispers behind the scenes that there was some sort of Odinistic angle or runes left at the crime scene. We've never been able to 100% confirm those, so we never reported those. And of course, in this case, it's been plagued by all sorts of rumors from the very beginning.
So, because you're out there, is there any other indication that Odinists are sacrificing people anywhere else? Or would this be the only criminal homicide that has potentially, it's what the defense is saying, a connection to Odinism?
That is such a good question, because that's the first thing we always do. Is this crime like any other crimes? And I can't say that we've officially dived into that research project yet, but we're trying very much to find potentially other Odinistic crimes, Odinistic murders of children specifically, and then also maybe other cults that, maybe could be comparable, I guess. But I would say generally our perception is that this sort of ritualistic sacrificial murder is not necessarily a prevalent thing here in Indiana.
And, the nature of it, I would think that if there was a murder like that, that it maybe would make the news and people would kind of know about it. But, some cases, I guess, a little more under the radar, maybe things aren't released publicly. Like in this case, we didn't know. We had no idea that what the scene looked like. So let me put up something else from this defense memorandum. Not only did the prosecution withhold that letter, and they're talking again about the letter from Assistant Police Chief Todd Click, from the defense, but law enforcement also withheld several other exculpatory pieces of evidence, including an 85-page compilation of reports by Click prepared in 2019 and several videos containing statements that support the defense theory of Richard Allen's innocence. This 85-page report detailed the investigative work performed by Click, Forensi, Murphy, and others, including the FBI. Then I want to get to this. According to the summary of Click's investigation that he attached with his letter, the Behavioral Analysis Unit, BAU, of the FBI determined that the individual or individuals responsible for the homicides were involved in Nordic beliefs. What are your thoughts about all of that?
Yeah, it's interesting. My initial question would be, would the BAU back that up at this point? It's a little surprising to hear the surety of the language there, that they confirmed that the people involved had Nordic beliefs, because I feel like you always have to put in the possibility of someone attempting to stage a scene and make it look like something it's not, right? So I don't know, but it's fascinating. And it also throws in the FBI, which of course came into this case very early on and then sort of has seemingly left it these days. So is not necessarily super involved anymore. So kind of also underscores.
Now, about
2 weeks ago, guys, I touched on this just to give you an update for those of you that may not have been here. And I showed you guys the difference between real Odinism and paganism based on what these people were doing, which is taking a religious, taking a religion basically in a sense and twisting it to their own liking to do something this disgusting with, if that's what they did. Okay. If that's what this is. But again, you know, we talked about this the other day too. These sticks were found positioned upon these girls and their bodies were positioned in certain ways and other things that have gone on with this. And a specific person whose name I don't even want to say said that that's just how the sticks fell. It's bullshit. Okay. They were cut, they were laid, they were placed. Something's not right. So I have a problem with this and that. But I did show you guys this is not the way it's supposed to be practiced. And it's not practiced that way. There's quite a few amazingly awesome person that practice paganism and Odinism and things like that. They don't go hurt people, folks. It's not part of it, just so you know, okay? New doc job today. Yeah, we're gonna be checking out the docs too. No problem, Golf. Thank you, hun. Right, that's exactly it. Albert says that where'd it go? Real Odinites would never do this. It's a very sick, twisted way to do it. So that's the problem with this. These people should not. It's disgusting, folks. Completely disgusting. The way that. Okay, I guess SRB just said that sort of per se. I keep comparing it to the Valor stuff. They took an offshoot and changed the belief to fit their narrative. Kind of how, yeah, I can go with that. That's a good way to put it, SRB. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, AR, thanks, bro, for being here and explaining your side of this too, so that people can understand, because it is nothing like, I don't want people going around thinking that Odinites are horrible people and pagans are horrible people, because they're not, folks. It's just a choice they made in their religion and the basis they use. Completely two different things. Okay. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are different branches. I agree. What's up, Molly girl? Good to see you, dear. Good golly, good golly. Now, we'll get into the depths of the variations of it here a little bit later. I just want to cover this to get everybody caught up on that part. And then I want to get into these documents and look at some things that I think are off. Okay? Very much so. Let's see. It's what happens when fringe hate groups hijack religion, Christian included. It definitely can. Yeah, definitely can. Great way to put a negative look upon a certain belief, when really this type of crime would never be accepted. Right. Good point. Very good point. That's what I'm telling you guys. There's some very amazing people that practice these religions. Okay. Completely. And it gives the good people bad names, because then people turn and look and go, oh my God, you allowed for this? You do this? This is okay. No. This was twisted, folks. Completely twisted. So yes, that's a good point. This is not about believing in something. It's about what it is, And it's just dark. It's dark. So moving forward.
That maybe there was some factionalism even between sort of local, state, and federal authorities.
So what questions has all of this now raised to you, now that you've gone through all of these pages and come across things that have been released for the very first time?
The big thing on my mind is these allegations that the defense made are incredibly serious. And so the question on my mind is there anything to these allegations? I am really interested in hearing how the prosecution responds to this. Did they, in fact, withhold exculpatory material from the defense? If so, that would be very, very serious. If they have an explanation, I think we'd all like to hear it.
Are there other questions about Richard Allen that this raised for you? Because part of this memo, there's, I think, several goals that they had in the way they laid it all out. And one big one that we talked about a little bit last night was that one person could not have done all of this. what are your thoughts about the way they describe all that and the scene where Abby and Libby were found?
Yeah, I thought the defense did a good job of kind of crafting this narrative. And I know for our listeners, we've already gotten a ton of emails about this and people sort of saying, wow, it seems to have caught people's interest in a big way. And I would say, I think it's going to be a battle of the narratives. I think you're going to have the prosecution saying, this is an ordinary guy, and then he does this, and it was heinous, and, why doesn't necessarily matter. Sometimes people just go out and do these things. And the defense is going to be crafting something about more of a wide-ranging conspiracy involving Odinists who have infiltrated prison and also, were involved in these child murders. And so you're going to have the sort of ordinary versus the extraordinary. And it's going to be interesting to see which one carries the day with the jury, because we've interviewed people who knew Richard Allen and who, grew up with him. And by all accounts, he was a very normal guy. So there's not really that kind of salacious aspect that you have in sort of an Odinistic cult. So I just sort of think we're seeing the sides form right now.
Now, all of us who've been following the story and covering the story, there's a series now of I wouldn't call them suspects, but people who, okay, are they connected? Are they connected? Including the Anthony Schatz social media stuff. How does what we learned here, how does it change, alter, or perhaps supplement, everything else that we've learned?
I think one thing it does is it shows that these investigators never had blinders on. They looked at a wide variety of leads and they pursued them to the best of their abilities. They had officers trying to run down this Odinist stuff. They had officers trying to run down Anthony Schatz. They had officers trying to run down Chadwell and some of the other suspects over the years. And ultimately, they ended up, the only person they could make a probable cause case against was Richard Allen. And so they arrested him.
And what's fascinating about this story and why I think it's going to be a difficult case for prosecutors is I speak to people who have been there, have done like you, and who have done podcasts and things, and people tell me, and I always ask them, well, I'm not going to ask them on the air, but I'll ask them sometimes, well, who do you think did it? And you get different answers from different people who have studied all this. I've never seen anything like this, where, people who are, really involved in it can look at this and say, oh, no, it's this person. Oh, no, it's this person. But I don't know if anyone's convinced that any of them, I don't think they're convinced beyond a reasonable doubt on any of them. And then Richard Allen is the one who came out of nowhere.
In many ways, he's the most boring suspect.
What a great description. Kevin, this guy, there's nothing to it. There's no computer searches. There's just a bullet.
Yeah, you look at some of the other suspects, they have a history of violence. They have histories of child sexual abuse materials. This guy just was a regular working Joe who every day went to work at the CVS at the pharmacy, didn't cause any trouble at all. So as Anya says, he's the dullest of the suspects, probably.
Unbelievable developments. Anya Kane, Kevin Greenlee, folks, listen to it after my show, right? You can download it now, but listen after the show, the Murder Sheet podcast. And I hope you guys will come back because we're going to do this again tomorrow night. So hopefully we'll be able to track you down again tomorrow. Thank you so much. All right, folks, we've got more to get to here. How about those sketches? What about those sketches? More information in these pages filed by the defense undermining the sketches. We'll talk about that. Plus, coming up next hour.
In Las Vegas, Nevada, a disturbing video goes viral. Two teenagers in a car record themselves as they purposely
on Court TV.
All right, there's part of this Delphi case that has always confused me, and I never really understood it. Right? That's a video And that's what they've been telling us. This is the killer. This is a video of the killer taken by Libby. Okay, amazing that she did this, but that's the killer. Despite the fact that we have video of the actual killer, we also have sketches of the alleged suspects in this case. Let's put it up on the screen. February 2017, this was a witness description to the sketch artist of a man on the Monon High Bridge. And this is, again, February 2017, the month that it happens. White, about 20 years old, brown curly hair with a medium build, okay? And that was the sketch artist put together. Now, in the papers, again, that the defense has filed, they write, the Unified Command, again, this is the investigative agency running the whole thing. The Unified Command did not release the witness sketch to the public for over 2 years. Instead, they first released another witness's sketch called Sketch 1. The other sketch was illustrated by FBI sketch artist Plants from Detroit on June 19th, 2017, and released to the public July 17th, 2017. Roughly 2 years later, in March of 2019, the witness met with Tony Liggett, frustrated that her sketch number 2, the one on the right of your screen, had not been released to the public. Witness was frustrated because sketch number 1, which had been released almost 2 years before, did not match the man that she observed on the High Bridge. The witness even commented that sketch number 1, the one on the left side of your screen, is wrong. Now, March 2019, the witness description to law enforcement. The man on the Monon High Bridge, slender and youthful, boyish, in his 20s to 30s. His hair seemed poofy, no facial hair. You know, looks like a young Justin Timberlake, for goodness sakes. Now, also from this defense memorandum, on April 22nd, 2019, the Unified Command, the investigators, released the witness's sketch number 2 to the general public. In fact, upon its release, Superintendent Doug Carter commented that the man in sketch 2 was responsible for the murders. Also, at the time of the release of sketch 2, Doug Carter also stated that sketch 1 had now become secondary to the investigation. All of this totally confusing at the time, and I think even more confusing now, because that sketch of the one who looks like Justin Timberlake doesn't look like Richard Allen and doesn't look like the guy in the video. What's going on here? I need some help. Joining me in Orange County, California, the author of Forest for the Trees, a book about the Delphi murders. Investigative producer Chris Todd is with us. And in Jacksonville, Florida, retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Koffendorfer. Great to have you both here. Chris, is this the strangest part of this whole investigation? I mean, there's a lot of strange parts, and we've learned much more now. But how do you make sense, or can you make sense, of the sketches, the descriptions, and what the defense is now alleging?
This is one of the strangest cases I've ever been involved in, for sure. And a lot of people have worked on this, a lot of podcasters, journalists, Leos, and a lot of people in Delphi in this community know the work that I've done and the people I've worked with. And these sketches, they don't look anything alike. They don't resemble actually BG at all. And
when you say BG, you mean Bridge Guy, right? Bridge Guy in the video?
Yeah, Bridge Guy. Everybody calls him BG. And I've already said who Bridge Guy is, and I will stick to that. And I don't believe Richard Allen is Bridge Guy, and I don't believe he ever will be. So these two sketches look nothing alike. They're from two different or multiple witnesses actually gave differing, just like the trail witnesses said someone was in all black or they're in all blue. This case is a circus. I'm just going to say that. And I do have some bombshell information for you today, Vinny, if we get to it.
Oh, if it's a bombshell, we'll get to it. But we'll have to wait. That way people keep watching. That's the way we do it, Chris, here on television. All right. Jennifer Koffendorfer, your thoughts about the way these sketches were handled and released? Like, why do you get a sketch in February and then not release it for 2 years and then tell us this is the one? I don't understand that. Why would you do that?
Well, I think the important thing is understanding really how these sketches came about. The first sketch was actually taken
All right, guys.
not only from witness accounts, but also from really the video of Bridge Guy as best that they could ascertain what he looked like. And that was released. And if you look at that sketch.
And you're talking
looks
about the
so
one
much
all the way
like
to the
Ron
left
Logan.
now? Are you talking about the one all the way to the left of the screen?
Yes, the first sketch.
Well, we got
The
to, I don't
first
want to call it
sketch.
first and second because I think the boy one was the first one done, but the second one released. So when you say first sketch released or first sketch that's sketched?
Apologies. The first sketch release, not the boy.
Okay,
Not
gotcha.
the Timberlake.
Gotcha.
All right. So if you look at that sketch, it ended up resembling the FBI subject in this matter, who was Ron Logan. There was a whole affidavit written about him and the fact that they believed he was the prime suspect in the case. If you look at the second sketch, which was released late, but as you said, made earlier from a witness statement, that came about almost 2 years after, as you pointed out. Why did it come about? The FBI at that point had removed themselves from the investigation. There were issues between two different ideologies in terms of who was the suspect, and so they released this new one looking for new leads.
Now, I was a prosecutor. This is like oozing of reasonable doubt. I'm not saying that they arrested the wrong guy. I don't know who did it. I wasn't there, obviously, right? We got to see and hear all the evidence in court. But I know the way trials go. And once they start putting these different sketches, and they do like we did, and they put the sketch next to Richard Allen, and then none of it makes sense. None of this makes sense to me. So what do you think, Chris, about the eyewitnesses? Who do the eyewitnesses help in this case, or are the eyewitnesses, does their testimony conflict with one another to an extent that these descriptions become meaningless?
I mean, I'm looking at this Frank's motion a little bit, right? The Sons of Odin and all these. I think that's where we're at this second. There's many witnesses. There were a lot of people on the trail that day, a lot. And other names keep coming up.
Yeah, let's not mention any of them. We're not. I'm just letting the folks at home know that we're not mentioning names purposely. I tell them every night because there are names that the defense is naming, but we specifically are just not doing it until there's more information out there. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is this Frank's motion is where the case is at today. This is the most important thing. The defense is creating this scenario of other people looking at other people. This ritualistic pagan ceremony. And this has been going on since day one with Tony Klein, Kegan Klein. These names, everyone said these names. I'm saying is, so today, this case is moving at 1,000 miles an hour. This is bombshell information. And I understand what the defense is doing, but I'm just going to say this to you right now, okay? The runes, this writing in blood on the tree, I'm not buying any of it. And I have multiple sources that you know too. I have a lot of people on the inside on this investigation. I'm not buying any of it.
That's fascinating. Now, Jennifer, what we talked about in the second block is that the defense is alleging that the FBI BAU, Behavioral Unit, said this was consistent with some sort of Nordic ritual. Like, how did they come to that determination? Are you buying it?
Well, the Behavioral Analysis Unit with the FBI, they have a huge database of cases that would have been similar. Now, remember, this wasn't the first Odinist type murder. There were 6 cases of crimes, I should say, where the individuals were Odinists. And the most famous one occurred in 2011 in Norway, which was a horrible mass murder in a school. And so in any event, they are going to take some of those markers, if you will, and look and do some comparative analysis. So BAU is actually quite good at this. I had numerous cases when I was in the Bureau that I sent to them, and I said, these are the clues I have. Can you give me some clue as to what kind of person I'm looking for in terms of age, in terms of race, anything they could give me? And I can tell you, in 3 of those instances, I remember them so clearly, they were spot on. So I'm not saying they're spot on here. I haven't seen the report they wrote, but I'm saying they are good at what they do.
All right, Chris Todd, in all your investigating of this, did you ever come across this Odinism? Was that something that you heard of? Is that something that you investigated in the area?
Absolutely no worries,
And
Kate.
the murder sheet's right. These rumors were coming out right away. Within the first year or two, there were rumors of these runes. I get writing from fans or audience members and sleuths. They keep driving this to me. The sticks were in a certain way, and this is Odin, and this is Germanic. And I'm like, you know, and look, I can't say too much of how I know about crime scene photos, autopsies, photos of the bodies. I can't say too much about that. I'm just saying I understand what's going on, and this happens in a lot of other cases. I'm just calling it hogwash. And I challenge anyone, show me the photos of this rune in blood and these sticks. Show me.
All right, our guests are staying with us. When we come back, we're going to talk about some more alleged conflicting witness statements. What does it all mean? This case is getting more complicated.
I've worked hard all my life. I've gone from being a local reporter.
Richard Allen, you child murderer! Why did you do it? Shame on you! Shame on you, Richard! You're going to prison for the rest of your life! Shame on you,
Richard Allen, that's the man accused of the Delphi murders, and investigators, prosecutors say he did it by himself. The defense, with this huge memorandum that they filed saying no way, and one person couldn't have done it, by the way. That's what they're saying. With us tonight, Chris Todd, investigative producer, and Jennifer Kavidover, former FBI special agent. Chris, my DMs and my thing just blowing up during the commercial break, so let's do it. You got a bombshell for us tonight. What is it?
So I believe that when on Libby's footage, her phone footage, it's a lot longer than we've been told it is. And I believe that when we hear guys and then down the hill, those are not the same person.
Why do you believe that?
Can't really say too much, but I can guarantee you tomorrow I'm going to have a few people very angry at me.
Wow. That now gives that now we're talking about 2 people. So
I have way more than that, but if I say this other stuff, it'll light the town on fire.
Okay, let me ask you this. If it's not the same person, are you saying there's more than one person at the scene and attacking?
There is more than one killer, absolutely.
Jennifer Kavidover, is there any way to tell from the, and I mean, the level of that recording is not the greatest. It's not terrible. It's not the greatest. Any way to attempt to match the voice to someone?
So in these cases, there definitely is a unit at the FBI that can compare and do voice analysis. The problem is they will not be able to say 100% sure that these are the same voices. So the problem is there's never going to be an exact answer. And back to the question, though, about whether there was more than one person, I'm reminded of the prosecutor who, when it was being discussed about sealing the information, actually said that there was more than one person. And so we need to seal because we're still investigating. So I just find that was interesting when he said those words.
So let's take one more listen because everybody at home wants to hear the voice one more time. So we're going to play it for you 3 times in a row. Let's take a listen. Now, again, we are the ones who put the video with the audio because this is the video that was released that did not have the audio on it. The audio is separate. So what Chris is saying today now is that the man that is walking there is not the voice that we hear. Chris,
No,
another.
let me clarify. Let me clarify.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No, BG is saying down the hill. The person saying guys is not on camera. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Guys actually comes after down the hill. It's out of order.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is that this audio was edited,
spliced,
rearranged, and then
and
released.
I'm not blaming law enforcement. It might be a smart tactic. I'm going to stick up for them right here. Because remember, we only first heard down the hill. We didn't hear guys. That came out of nowhere later on. They never explained why were they releasing the word guys. So I believe that down the hill comes first, and that phone stays on, and Libby did an amazing job. What a courageous little girl, okay? And it carries further, and then someone says guys and gives a command to do something, and I won't say what it is.
Very possible, because we have not heard the whole thing. Jennifer Kopfendorfer is with, first of all, let me ask you this, Chris. Is it your belief that it's very obvious when you look at the complete thing that it's two different people?
I always believed early on from sources that came to me and investigators, and even we had Leo whistleblowers and stuff. And a lot of normal people believed it would be really hard for one person,
right?
Especially.
But what I'm asking you, Chris, is the voice that we hear from that recording. When you see the whole recording, is it obvious in the context of that it's two different voices?
It wasn't to me until I was basically schooled, and I can't say how. And then it woke me up, and this case has changed every day. I was shocked more than anyone. And then I went on my own research. I do believe guys is said by a different person. I know who says down the hill. I know who says down the hill. I don't know who says guys.
All right, Jennifer Kopfendorfer, to me, this is exactly bombshell, right? How significant is all this to the investigation? And would there be any reason to release the audio the way investigators did?
Well, in terms of that information, if that is in fact accurate, yes, it's very significant, because if they are saying, and I'm not sure how they would know, because again, as I mentioned, voice identification is not a precise science, but it seems that there are some sources that apparently are saying there are two different voices. If that's true, of course it is quite a bombshell, because law enforcement now has turned to saying it is just Richard Allen and Richard Allen alone. But boy, after this 100-page, manuscript, so to speak, there was a lot to digest in all of that. And Vinny, it's certainly concerning, because
thank you so very much.
I do believe there was blood on the tree, and I have that on very good authority. But was it the murderer wiping his fingers like this?
Right.
To get blood off the fingers, and it made an F. In terms of the stick configuration, was it just happened to be how it fell? We knew it looked like a rune. I mean, that was always my understanding.
Actually, that right there,
can't discount that it's just sort of how those sticks might have piled up. But the prosecution, at the end of the day, Vinny, they're going to have a lot of explaining to do regarding the sticks and that blood.
Trust me. All right, Chris, one other thing I just want to follow up on that we were going to spend a little more time on, but the muddy and bloody description by a witness, in the affidavit that the prosecution put out there, they said that someone was seen wearing a blue-colored jacket, blue jeans, and was muddy and bloody. The defense says the witness never said bloody. What are your thoughts? Was this person muddy and bloody, just muddy? And what is that? How significant is all of that?
I don't know if I believe this witness at all. Dealing with, I know a lot of people on this case. Everybody knows how deeply involved I am on this. I don't know if there ever was a person walking on North 300. They say it's a tan coat. It was a blue coat. It was a young guy. I mean, the killer's going to break the tree line and walk on the road in broad daylight, muddy and bloody.
A lot of this, okay, we're out of time for tonight, but obviously there's a lot more to talk about. Chris Todd, Jennifer Coffindoffer, thank you both so much. Really do appreciate it.
That's just how the sticks piled up. It just happened that way. They just fell, were clean cut, and they just piled up that way. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. She makes me nuts. Everything she says. I really can't believe that she got away with saying that either. Anyway, there it is, folks. That, again, is just to bring everybody back to par with what's going on. Back up to par, I'm sorry. 1 second here. Like I said, we're going to go back into, it is crazy. Yeah, they just immediately fell into a specific design that looks like a rune. It happens all the time. I've seen it, you know. She didn't answer the question about why after the public two phrases purposely out of order. It's a good point. Ms. Winborn, thank you for joining us. Salty, and that's a fact. Libby's actual video was 43 seconds long per court documents. Okay, so a branch fell on you one time, right? Blah, right? I just don't understand how can you get away with saying something as dumb as that? You know. All right. Where is it? I think this is backwards. Let me find this order. Here we go. All right, guys, we're going to go back into we're going to start off reading the probable cause affidavit, okay, against Richard Allen. And I want to go from there forward in whatever documents. This is going to take we're not doing all this in one day, obviously, because there's a lot to this, and we're going to look into some other stuff too. So thank you guys for being here and being patient with all this. And like I said, going back, I kind of wanted to combine the beginning to now together in that. That's why I showed that video again, because we watched it last week. But some of you guys weren't in here last week, so I'd like to, bring it back together. So this is, by the way, for those of you that weren't familiar, this case took 6 years to get to this point. 6. Not a year, not 6 months, 6 years. Okay? And the problem I have with this fact that it took 6 years is a lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now that was just new, brought out, they knew 6 years ago. That's where I have the problems with this case, okay? The way the bodies were found with the sticks that fell on top of them, and they just happened to fall into those patterns. They knew what that looked like. Again, and again, I know some of you guys, a lot of you guys know this. I'm catching everybody else up. They knew what that was. That with the blood on the tree, the sticks falling the way they did, all of that, they knew what that was and pushed it to the side. Why? Why did they do that? That's kind of odd to me. Then they find this Richard Allen guy, they drag him. I'm not saying that he's not involved, folks, because I very well believe he could be, but if he is, I've said this already a couple times. If he is involved, he's at the very bottom of the totem pole as far as people that are involved, okay? He's the weakest link. But it's hard to see his involvement. This guy worked for CBS. He was nobody important. But it is what it is. Word is there are things on the video the families aren't going to want released publicly. Yeah, I've heard that too. Molly says, do we know if any law enforcement or higher ups in the area did practice onanism? I don't know for a fact, but I do know, and I'm pretty sure Salty can back me up on this one. This man was transferred from county jail to prison within a month of his arrest, right? And it's known that there are Odinites that work at the prison. Think about that. And that is absolutely, it has been alleged. And again, I don't know. I can't say for a fact that there were officers within the LE that were involved that possibly could have been as well. It's all allegations, folks. We don't know. And Salty, like she's saying, same thing. That's the allegations, right? Oh, wait a minute, right there. Yes. And then like she just reiterated behind me, within a month of the arrest, he was sent to prison. Now, who does that? Who does that? For what? Usually they're saying it's for his protection. I don't know though, because since he's gone to prison, he's ended up, I mean, you guys have seen what he looked like when he was arrested as compared to what he looks like now. He looks like the Walking Dead. Okay. Since he's been in prison, he's completely different person. I didn't even recognize him the first time I saw him when they were walking him out for a hearing. I was like, what the hell happened to him? Within a month, folks, he looks like shit. You know, it's horrible. AR saying him being housed in a prison prior to being sentenced does not happen. I've never heard of it, ever. Ever have I ever heard of that happening. Usually, you sit in county until you hit your trial. Once you go to your trial and you're sentenced, then they send you off to prison. That's typically how it works. Kelly Mack, welcome back. Good to see you, dear. Bonnie just said she worked in it, and my mother used to work in a prison. She was a nurse in a prison, so same thing. You know what I mean? Bonnie said I've never heard of it, and she worked in a prison. Yeah, very rapid deterioration, and that's when it's kind of amazing to me. This man also admitted while in prison to these crimes, but that seems kind of interesting to me that he didn't do that until he got to a, I guess you could say, a lethargic point of his life. For lack of better terminology, he became lethargic. I think he's got, psychiatric issues going on at this point because it looks like he was being tortured, starved, whatever you want to call it. All of that stuff put together. You have to go through an intake prison process. This is how they determine. Yeah, right. Yeah, you spend a certain amount of time in an intake. I know this because of my son. When he went in, I found out he spent a certain amount of time at one prison, and then he was moved to his home prison. And then that's how they process what level you're going to be labeled as in the system. Okay, so this is just, it's everything about this is messed up. Everything about this is messed up. What's up, Natural Healing? Good to see you. I'm sure they probably are, blah. Had he ever had bad run-ins with law enforcement, issues with government? Not that I know of. I may be wrong, Molly, but not that I know of. He worked at CBS, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Yep. That's right. That is right. All right. All right, let's get this blown up a bit. I can agree on that. All right. Let's see here. No, I'm setting something up real quick. I'm here, guys. Don't worry. I'm getting ready to start reading. All right, here we go. Sorry. I was trying to fix something. My apologies. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Again, this is the probable cause affidavit, state of Indiana versus, of course, Carroll County versus Richard M. Allen. Okay. I, the undersigned affiant, submit the following information pursuant to I.C. 35337-2 as a sworn affidavit setting forth the facts and circumstances known to law enforcement of Carroll County as the basis for probable cause to arrest without a warrant or to establish probable cause for issuance of an arrest warrant for the above named defendant, of course, Richard M. Allen. Excuse me. Yeah, that's what I needed to do. Sorry. That the facts and circumstances described below would be sufficient basis for a person of reasonable caution and prudence to believe that the accused has committed or attempted to commit the offense described, and if arrested without a warrant, such would be authorized under IC. 35-33-1-1. I know it's written. It's a little crazy looking, but that's okay. We'll get through it. That the hearsay statements of witnesses contained herein are considered reliable, incredible, due to the witness's personal knowledge and or corroborated by the totality of the circumstances. And, okay. That on February 14, 2017, victim 1 and victim 2 were found deceased in the woods approximately 0.2 miles northeast of the Mononai Bridge in Carroll County. Their bodies were located on the north side of the Deer Creek. At the time, the I never could say that right. Mononai Bridge Trail was an approximately 1 mile gravel trail terminating at the Mononai Bridge. The Mononai Bridge is an abandoned railroad trestle approximately 0.25 miles long. Excuse me, spanning the Deer Creek and Deer Creek Valley on the southeast end of the trail. One second. keep losing this. Where did it go? There it is. Approximately 0.7 miles northwest on the trail from the... What did it shrink? From the northwestern edge of the Mononhigh Bridge is the Freedom Bridge, which is a pedestrian bridge spanning State Road 25, approximately 350 feet west of Freedom. Bridge was a former railroad overpass over Old State Road 25, also known as County Road 300 North. The trail terminates just west of the former railroad overpass. The majority of the trail is in the wooded area with... Wait a minute. I need to go. I gotta find page 2. Where'd it go? Uh-oh. I'm missing page 2. Shoot. With a... Ugh. Hold on. Did I miss something? Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I thought that was... It goes from 1 to 3. They must be mixed up somewhere. Well, I guess I don't have to read the whole thing. I can just read everything that's highlighted here. Which is everything on this stuff. But here, let me jump back here. So then we go from that to page 3. And they start talking about the photographs then. Photographs including a photo of the Monon High Bridge taken at 12:43 p.m. So something's not right there. I was trying to... Let me go back here and see if there's something I missed in my email. Because that's very possible. Give me 1 second, folks. I thought I had that set in a specific way, and I guess I screwed that up. 1 second here. I'm missing page 2, Salty. It looks like page 2. I have 3, 6, 4, 7, and then of course, like you had said, the last page is missing. I think I'm missing just 2 and 5 is what I'm missing. Oh, okay, no problem, hon. Sorry, guys. I thought I messed something up here. My apologies. Give me a second. We'll get it together. Welcome, Charlotte. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Oh, wait a minute. I think how the hell did that happen? Yep, I found it. I don't know how it's in. Anyway, back to where I was. How that happened, I don't get it. Glasses, I guess. In a wooded trail with a... Where does it keep jumping to? That's so weird. Steep embankment on the south side of the trail. The entirety of the trail and the location of the girls' bodies were and are located in Carroll County, Indiana. I got it, Salty. That was weird. Through interviews, reviews, let me blow that back up. Interviews, and share it with you guys again. So, oh my God, guys, I'm all over the place today. My apologies. Here we go. Okay. Through interviews, reviews of electronic records, and review of the video at the Hoosier Harvest Store, investigators believe victim 1 and 2 were dropped off across from the Mears farm at 1:49 p.m. on February 13th, 2017 by, okay, and that's redacted there. The Mears farm is located on the north side of the County Road 300 North, near an entrance to the trails. Video from victim 2's phone showed that at 2:13 p.m., victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject on the southeast portion of the Monon High Bridge. The male ordered the guys down the hill, and we all know that there's something up with that. Period. So, no witnesses saw them after this time. No outgoing communications were found on victim 2's phone after this time. Their bodies were discovered on February 14th of 2017. The video recovered from victim 2's phone shows victim 1 walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge, while a male subject wearing a dark jacket and jeans walks behind her. As the male subject approaches victim 1 and 2, one of the victims mentions gun. Near the end of the video, a male is seen and heard telling the girls, guys, down the hill. The girls then begin to proceed down the hill, and the video ends. A still photograph taken from the video and the guys down the hill audio was subsequently released to the public to assist investigators in identifying the male. Victim 1 and victim 2's deaths were ruled a homicide. Clothes were found in the Deer Creek belonging to victim 1 and 2, south of where their bodies were located. There was also a .40 caliber unspent round less than 2 feet away from victim 2's body between 1 and victim 2. The round was unspent and had extraction marks on it. Interviews were conducted with 3 juveniles and blank, which is redacted again. They advised that they were on the Monon High Bridge trail on February 13th of 2017. They advised they were walking on the trail towards Freedom Bridge to go home. When they encountered a male walking from Freedom Bridge towards the Monon High Bridge to go home. I'm sorry. Again, back up. I jumped lines because it's so small. The Monon High Bridge. Blank described the male as kind of creepy and advised that he was wearing like blue jeans and a really light blue jacket, and his hair was gray, maybe a little brown, and he did not really show his face. She advised the jacket was a duck canvas type jacket. Advised that she said hi to the male, but he just glared at them. She recalled him being in all black and had something covering his mouth. She described him as not very tall, with a bigger build. She said he was not bigger than 5'10". Blank advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. Excuse me. She stated that he had his hands in his pockets and then showed investigators photographs she took on her phone while she was on the trail that day. The photographs included a photo of the Monon High Bridge taken at 12:43 p.m. and another one taken at 1:26 p.m. of the bench east of the Freedom Bridge. Advised she took the photo of the bench. They started walking towards Freedom Bridge. She advised that was when they encountered the man who matched the description of the photograph taken from victim 2's phone. Where'd it go? Victim 2's video. Blank described the man she encountered on the trail as wearing a blue or black windbreaker jacket. She advised the jacket had a collar and he had his hood up from the clothing underneath his jacket. She advised he was wearing baggy jeans and was taller than her. She advised her head came up to approximately his shoulders. She advised, Lord, I can't see this. 1 second, guys. Where is it again? Oh, okay. Sorry. I keep losing this. It's ridiculous. I must have skipped something. She advised that the man stayed his hands in his pocket, head down. She advised he did not get a good look. Did not get a good look at his face, but believed him to be a white male. The girls advised after encountering the male, they continued their walk across Freedom Bridge and the old railroad bridge over Old State 25. Sorry about that, guys. Investigators spoke with Blank, who advised she was on the trails on February 13th of 2017. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store captured Blank vehicle driving eastbound at 1:46 p.m. toward the entrance across from the Mears farm. Blank advised she saw 4 juvenile females walking on the bridge over Old State Road 25. As she was driving underneath her way to park, Blank advised there was no other cars parked across from the Mears farm when she parked. She advised that she walked to the Mononhigh Bridge and observed a male matching the one from victim two's video. She described the male she saw as a white male wearing blue jeans and a blue jean jacket. She advised that he was standing on the first platform of the Mononhigh Bridge, approximately 50 feet from her. God, why do I keep losing this? She advised she turned around at the bridge and continued her walk. She advised approximately halfway between the bridge and the parking area across from Mears Farm, she passed 2 girls walking toward Mononhigh Bridge. She advised that she believed the girls were victim 1 and victim 2. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store shows at 1:49 p.m. a white car matching vehicle traveling away from the entrance across from the Mears farm. Blank advised that she finished her walk and saw no other adults other than the male on the bridge. Her vehicle is seen on Hoosier Harvest Store video at 2:14 p.m. leaving westbound from the trails. Blank advised when she was leaving, she noted a vehicle was parked in an odd manner at the Child Protective Services building. She said it was not odd for vehicles to be parked there, but she noticed it was odd because of the manner in which it was parked, backed in near the building. Investigators received a tip from Blank in which she stated he was on his way. 1 second. He was on his way to Delphi on State Road 25 around 2:10 p.m. On February 13th, 2017, he observed a purple PT Cruiser or a small SUV type vehicle parked on the south side of the old CPS building. He stated it appeared as though it was backed in or into as to conceal the license plate of the vehicle. Excuse me. Both drew diagrams of where they saw the vehicle parked, and their diagram generally matched as to the area the vehicle was parked and the manner in which it was parked. Blank advised he remembered seeing a smaller dark colored car parked at the old CPS building. He described it as possibly being a smart car. Blank vehicle is seen leaving at 2:28 p.m. on the Hoosier Harvest Store video. All right, hold on a minute here. Welcome, Leslie. Good to see you. Just checking out the chat real quick. It's hard when you only got one person over here. Thank you, Brandy. Just to make sure I'm getting everybody and making sure everybody's being good. which I'm sure you are. Okay. Back to that. A vehicle is seen leaving at 2:28 p.m. on the Hoosier Harbor Store video. Investigators spoke with Blank, who stated that she was traveling east on 300 North on February 13th of 22 and observed a male subject walking west on the north side of 300 North away from the Monon High Bridge. Blank advised that the male subject was wearing a blue colored jacket and blue jeans and was muddy and bloody. Okay. She further stated that it appeared he had gotten into a fight. Investigators were able to determine from watching the video from the Hoosier Harbor Store that Blank was traveling on CR, City Route 300 North at approximately 3:57 p.m. Through interviews, electronic data, photographs, and video from the Hoosier Harbor Store investigators determined that there were other people on the trail that day after 2:13 p.m. Those people were interviewed, and none of those individuals encountered the male subject referenced above, witnessed by the juvenile girls, blank and blank. Further, none of those individuals witnessed victim 1 and victim 2. Investigators reviewing prior tips encountered a tip narrative from an officer who interviewed Richard Allen in 2017. That narrative stated, hold on, need a drink. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Muddy and bloody is not good. So, Mr. Allen was on the trail between 13:30 and 15:30, which would be 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. He parked at the old Farm Bureau building and walked to the new Freedom Bridge. While at the Freedom Bridge, he saw 3 females. He noted one was taller than and had brown hair or black hair. He did not remember description or did he speak with them. He walked from the Freedom Bridge to the high bridge. Yeah. He did not see anybody, although he stated he was watching a stock ticker on his phone as he walked. He stated there were vehicles parked at the high bridge trailhead, however, did not pay attention to them. He did not take any photos or videos. His cell phone did not list an IMEI, but did have the following. It has the MEID, the MEID hex, and the numbers that go with it. Potential follow-up information. Who were the 3 girls walking in the area of Freedom Bridge? Investigators believe Mr. Allen was referring to the former Child Protective Service building as their one second here. Move on to page 5. Maybe. As there was not a Farm Bureau building in the area, nor had there been. Investigators believe the females he saw included blank and blank. Jesus, I keep doing this to myself to where I can't see it. Where'd they go? Where'd it go again? I lost it one more time. Oh, okay. Investigators discovered Richard Allen owned two vehicles in 2017, a 2016 black Ford Focus and a 2006 gray Ford 500. Investigators observed a vehicle that resembled Allen's 2016 Ford Focus on the Hoosier Harvest Store video at 1:27 p.m. Traveling westbound on CR 300 north in front of the Hoosier Harvest Store, which coincided with his statement that he arrived around 1:30 p.m. at the trails. Investigators note witness described the vehicle parked at the former Child Protective Services building as a PT Cruiser, small SUV, or smart car. Investigators believe those descriptions are similar in nature to a 2016 Ford Focus. On October 13th, 2022, Richard Allen was interviewed again by investigators. He advised that he was on the trails on February 13th of 17. He stated he saw juvenile girls on the trails east of Freedom Bridge and that he went onto the Monon High Bridge. Richard Allen further stated he went out onto the Monon High Bridge to watch the fish. Later in his statement, he said he walked out to the first platform on the bridge. He stated that he then walked back, sat on a bench on the trail, and then left. 1 second. He stated he parked his car on the side of the old building. He told investigators that he was wearing blue jeans and a blue or black Carhartt jacket with a hood. He advised he may have been wearing some type of head covering as well. He further claimed he saw no one else except for the juvenile girls that he saw east of the Freedom Bridge. He told investigators that he owns firearms and they are at his home, which goes back to the bullet that was found. Richard M. Allen's wife, Kathy Allen, spoke to investigators. She confirmed that Richard Allen did not own guns and knives at the residence. Did not have them, sorry. She also stated that Richard still owns a blue Carhartt jacket. On October 13th of 2022, investigators executed a search warrant of Richard Allen's residence of 1967 North Whiteman Drive, Delphi, Carroll County, Indiana. Among other items, officers located jackets, boots, knives, and firearms, including a Sig Sauer Model P 226 40 caliber pistol with the serial number U625627. Between October 14th of 22 and October 19th, the Indiana State Police Laboratory performed an analysis on Allen's Sig Sauer Model P 226. The laboratory performed a physical examination and classification of the firearm function test, barrel and overall length measurement, test firing ammunition. Hold on, I gotta get to the right. There we go. Unspent round located within 2 feet of victim's two's body had been cycled through Richard M. Allen's Sig Sauer Model P 226. The laboratory remarked. I mean, yoy. I'm gonna blow it up again. Sorry, guys. Such a mess with this today. An identification opinion is reached when the evidence exhibits an agreement of class characteristics and a sufficient agreement of individual marks. Sufficient agreement is related to the significant duplication of random striated / impressed marks as evidence is interpretation. No. As evidenced by the correspondence of the pattern of a pattern or combination of patterns of surface contours. The interpretation of identification is subjective in nature and based on relevant scientific research and the reporting examiner's training and experience. Lord, sorry guys. Investigators then ran the firearm and found that the firearm was purchased by Richard Allen in 2001. Richard Allen voluntarily came to the Indiana State Police Post on October 26th. He spoke with investigators and stated that he never allowed anyone to use or borrow the 6 Sauer Model P226 firearm. When asked about the unspent bullet, he did not have an explanation of why the bullet was found between the bodies of victims 1 and 2. He again admitted that he was on the trail, but denied knowing victim 1 or 2, and denied any of the involvement in their murders. Unaliving, sorry. I'm going to take a break here for a quick second while reading. My eyes are crossing, sorry. Yeah, I think I had a sinus infection, and I think it's going into my respiratory. Sorry, guys. That's why I'm taking breaks while reading. Checking chat here while I take a break for a minute. Wish I had somebody. I'm trying to, Daisy. Sorry, folks. Oh, no, I'm not falling asleep. I'm just struggling. Boom, there it is. They had the gun with his bullets. Conveniently, there was then a cycle bullet through the SIG found at the scene, which, by the way, no pics at all of the crime scene. Right. Oh, definitely not falling asleep, no. Nope, I can't sneeze either. It's weird. I wish I had Mama Bear here. She could help me read this crap. All right, let me get back to where I was now. Carroll County Sheriff's Department Detective Blank has been part of the investigation since it started in 2017. Sorry, he has had an opportunity to review and examine evidence gathered in this investigation. Detective Blank, along with the other investigators, believe the evidence gathered shows that Richard Allen is the male suspect seen on the video from victim 2's phone who forced the victims down the hill, and I just definitely disagree with that. Oh, I can't do the hot chip thing. Sorry, I'll be in the hospital. Forced the victims down the hill. Further, that the victims were forced down the hill by Richard Allen and lead to the location where they were murdered. Through the statements and photographs of the juvenile females and the statement of Blank and Blank were at the southeast edge of the trail at 12:43 p.m. east of the Freedom Bridge at 1:26 p.m. and walked across the former railroad overpass over Old State Road 25 after 1:26 p.m. and before 1:46 p.m. They walked the entirety of the trail and observed only one person, an adult male. Vehicle is seen on Hoosier Harvest Store video at 1:46 p.m. and leaving at 2:14 p.m. And she stated she only saw one adult male, Blank and Blank. Described the male in similar manners, wearing similar clothing. Leading investigators to believe that all four saw the same individual. Investigators believe the male observed Blank and Blank is the same male depicted in the video from victim 2's phone due to the description of the male by the 4 females matching the male in the video. Furthermore, victim 2's video was taken at 2:13 p.m. and blank saw only one male while she was on the trail from approximately 1:46 p.m. to 2:14 p.m. There we go. All right, guys, I'm going to excuse myself for 30 seconds. Well, about a minute here to get myself some coffee. That will definitely help clear my throat, and I'll be right back, guys. Give me one moment, please. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, let me get that thing taken down. Where is it? There it is. Sorry, folks. So when I make coffee, because my coffee machine's broke, I have to actually boil water and then open up the little K-cup and dump it in the thing and then brew it. So my apologies, it took so long. Either way. Man, I am feeling like crap. Yoy. Let me find out where I was. Unspent round located within 2 feet of victim's funeral cycled through. Yeah, okay. An identification opinion is reached when the evidence exhibits an agreement of class characteristics and a sufficient agreement of individual marks. Sufficient agreement is related to the significant duplication of random striated and pressed marks as evidenced by the correspondence of a pattern or combination of patterns of surface contours. The interpretation of identification is subjective in nature, and based on relevant scientific research and the reporting examiner's training and experience. Okay. It's not that I need to rest. I'm like real nauseous right now all of a sudden, and I don't know if it's because I'm draining from the sinus thing. No, it broke again, Molly. It started working, then it broke again. So, I don't know, guys. We may have to break this into a couple days because I'm just feeling like crap. Yuck. My stomach is killing me now all of a sudden, and I don't know. I've been drinking water like crazy, and I drink the unsweetened tea all the time. I don't know. I hate doing that to you guys, but I may have to just stop here and pick this up the day after tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're supposed to do the Prats. Oh, I feel like crap. Don't say that, Deborah. Please don't say that. Please, please don't say that. I know, Daisy. I just hate doing that to you guys. Ugh. All right, guys. Well, it's 2.5 hours anyway. We got through some of it. There's just a lot of reading, so I'm so sorry, folks. I really am. I feel so bad right now because of this. I gotta get to a doctor, I guess. Figure out what the hell's going on. All right, guys. Well, I love you guys. I appreciate you understanding, and I'm gonna go figure something out with this. And I'll keep in contact with you guys and let you guys know what's going on. I'm so sorry I couldn't finish this today, this part of it, but I really appreciate you guys understanding. My deepest apologies, folks, and I love you guys to death. So, besides that, guys, have a great day. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and don't change a thing, folks. I'll be back with you soon, and I'll keep in touch, guys. Love you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Excuse me.